Roman Reigns held the WWE Universal Championship for an unprecedented duration, cementing himself as one of the most dominant champions in modern wrestling history. His reign, spanning over 3 years, saw him rise as the face of WWE, a figure almost larger than life. However, WWE has found itself at a crossroads since his title loss. The aftermath of Reigns' defeat has raised several concerns, exposing WWE's mishandling of one of its biggest stars. One of the major pitfalls in WWE's treatment of Roman Reigns' post-title loss is the lack of a compelling follow-up storyline. While he was the centerpiece of WWE programming for years, his loss has seemingly left the creative team scrambling for direction. Instead of crafting a strong redemption arc, WWE appears to have sidelined him, leaving fans wondering what the future holds for the former champion. A performer of his caliber should never feel directionless, yet WWE has failed to maintain his momentum. Reigns' dominant character was built around his aura of invincibility, and his defeat should have been treated with gravity. Instead, WWE has diluted the impact of his loss by failing to capitalize on it effectively. A properly structured downfall and resurgence would have made his defeat meaningful. However, WWE's booking choices have made his loss seem like an afterthought, robbing the moment of its full narrative weight. This kind of misstep can damage even the most established stars, as audiences tend to disengage when a previously dominant figure suddenly lacks purpose. Another issue is the way WWE has positioned Reigns in the wake of his loss. Rather than allowing him to evolve into a new phase of his character, WWE has seemingly left him stagnant. The lack of a clear direction makes it appear as though the creative team did not consider a post-title plan for him. This is a common problem in WWE's long-term storytelling, where the focus is so heavily placed on a championship reign that once the title is lost, the superstar is left in limbo. For someone like Reigns, who has been the focal point of the company, this mismanagement is particularly glaring. Moreover, WWE's failure to transition Reigns into a compelling non-title feud further highlights their creative shortcomings. His story could have taken many interesting routes, perhaps a personal vendetta against those responsible for his downfall, a slow-burn redemption story, or a new challenge that redefines his purpose. Instead, WWE has opted for an ambiguous and underwhelming approach, which risks alienating the fans who have been invested in his journey for years. The impact of this mishandling extends beyond Reigns himself. WWE's tendency to devalue stars after a title loss has long been a problem, and Reigns is just the latest example. When a top-tier superstar is not given a substantial role post-championship, it diminishes the credibility of both the title and the individual. If the most dominant champion in years can be booked without a proper follow-up, it sets a precedent that no star is immune to poor storytelling. WWE risks sending the message that once a wrestler's championship reign ends, their relevance diminishes, which is a dangerous precedent for long-term character investment. Furthermore, WWE's reluctance to explore new storytelling avenues with Reigns showcases a broader problem with their booking philosophy. The company often relies too heavily on immediate payoffs rather than long-term narratives. When Reigns first became champion, WWE took a calculated risk by giving him an extended reign, allowing his character to develop in a way that made him feel larger than life. However, now that he is no longer champion, the company seems unsure of how to maintain his mystique. Instead of treating him as a continuing central figure, WWE has seemingly placed him on the sidelines without an engaging storyline to keep fans intrigued. The company's hesitation in defining Reigns' new role also hurts his ability to elevate others. As champion, he was able to bring significant attention to his challengers. Now, without a well-defined role, WWE is missing an opportunity to use Reigns' star power to create new main event level talents. A well-structured feud with an up-and-coming wrestler could do wonders for both Reigns and his opponent, ensuring that his presence remains valuable even outside the title picture. WWE's inability to leverage this opportunity reflects a failure to maximize the potential of one of their biggest assets. Additionally, the over-reliance on part-time appearances could further damage Reigns' standing. If WWE keeps him off television for extended periods without a clear purpose, his aura may begin to fade. While sporadic appearances can be effective for maintaining an air of unpredictability, they need to be paired with meaningful storytelling. If Reigns only appears without a significant direction, his once dominant presence could be reduced to that of a special attraction rather than an essential fixture in WWE's landscape. This could ultimately lessen the impact of any future redemption arc WWE may have planned for him. WWE also risks overexposing the Bloodline storyline without proper innovation. While the faction's success has been undeniable, WWE must ensure that the story does not become repetitive or stale. If Reigns continues to be involved with the Bloodline in the same capacity without evolving the narrative, the entire angle could lose its appeal. WWE should consider using this moment to reinvent the faction or introduce new layers to their dynamic, keeping both Reigns and the storyline fresh. Failing to do so may lead to diminishing returns, where once compelling storytelling turns into predictable, formulaic content. Moreover, WWE's approach to Reigns' character arc following his loss could shape how future champions are perceived. If WWE treats his post-championship phase as an afterthought, it may discourage fans from becoming deeply invested in long-term championship reigns. The appeal of a dominant champion lies in their entire journey, not just their time at the top. WWE must recognize that what happens after a historic reign is just as crucial as the reign itself. A failure to properly handle this transition could impact how future champions are received, making long reigns feel meaningless if there is no satisfying narrative beyond the title loss. The merchandise and business aspect also plays a significant role in why WWE should not mishandle Reigns. He remains one of WWE's top merchandise sellers and biggest box office draws. A decline in his booking quality could affect his marketability, which in turn could have financial repercussions for the company. WWE should recognize that keeping Reigns compelling is not just a creative necessity, but also a business imperative. Ensuring that he remains an integral part of the show will help maintain fan engagement and, by extension, revenue streams that stem from his popularity. Lastly, WWE's reluctance to fully explore the depth of Reigns' character hinders their ability to create fresh and exciting content. While his dominant heel persona defined his championship run, there is a wealth of untapped storytelling potential that could be explored post-title reign. A shift in character motivation, a deeper examination of his psyche following his loss, or a gradual transition to an anti-hero role could offer new layers to his persona. WWE must be willing to take risks in redefining his trajectory rather than relying on past successes. The Bloodline saga has been one of the most compelling narratives in WWE history, but its continuation or conclusion will determine how Reigns reinvents himself. The faction could expand, bringing in new members and solidifying its place as a generational dynasty, or it could crumble, leading to an emotional feud between its remaining members. The potential betrayal within his own ranks would be a dramatic storytelling device that could lead to some of the most intense rivalries of his career. A future rivalry with up-and-coming stars is inevitable. WWE has been carefully positioning names like Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Solo Sikoa, and even younger talent waiting for their chance to shine. Each of these potential opponents offers a different angle to explore. The question of whether Reigns will continue his role as the tribal chief or transition into a more vulnerable, desperate character seeking to regain his lost status is an exciting prospect for fans and storytellers alike. Another crucial factor will be Reigns' schedule. In recent years, he has embraced a part-time role, appearing at major events while avoiding weekly competition. This schedule may become even lighter if he seeks outside ventures such as Hollywood, following in the footsteps of The Rock, John Cena, and Batista. If he does decide to take on film projects, it raises the question of how WWE will handle his absences. Would they create an interim champion? Would he take a more cinematic approach, appearing in pre-recorded vignettes and special attractions rather than in-ring competition? With WrestleMania always looming as WWE's most significant annual event, Reigns' presence on that stage will continue to be a focal point. Whether as the reigning champion or as a challenger seeking to reclaim his throne, his appearances at the Show of Shows will define his ongoing story. Speculation about a dream match with The Rock has lingered for years, and if it does happen, it would be a defining moment that cements his place in history. The possibility of a face turn is always an intriguing angle. Reigns has spent years as the dominant heel, yet his popularity remains undeniable. A well-executed babyface turn could freshen his character and allow for new feuds against heelish challengers who seek to claim the throne he once ruled with an iron fist. WWE has often struggled with turning established heels into faces in a way that feels natural, but Reigns has the charisma and fan investment to make it work. Ultimately, WWE's handling of Roman Reigns after his title loss is a critical moment in his career. If they continue to treat his post-title run with a lack of urgency, they risk diminishing the legacy he built over years of dominance. The company needs to act decisively, giving him a meaningful storyline that allows for continued character evolution. Without this, WWE not only fails Reigns, but also the fans who have invested in his journey, proving once again that poor long-term storytelling remains one of their biggest downfalls.